Christian Kirk and a second round pick is a beautiful trade for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I think for the Jacksonville Jaguars too, you're not going to get a player better than George Pickens with the 5th pick in the second round of the NFL draft. George Pickens is a first round pick if he was in today's draft. He's 23 years old and he would still be the first wide receiver off the board in the NFL draft this year. Pretty close to it, at least. Mm-hmm. And if you're Jacksonville, sure, why not? Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you take a George Pickens to add to Gabe Davis and Brian Thomas? Good.
Yeah, I was going to say, especially because I feel like it's better fit down there in Jacksonville. They are going to win by way of Trevor Lawrence's arm. And if you go out there and get a Brian Thomas, George Pickens combination, that's going to help them win. And if you're the Steelers, right now, they are going to try to win when it comes to the ground game. And they're not going to throw the ball around the field all that much. So they're going to need more than one player that can get open. And you get Christian Kirk. You hope Roman Wilson turns into something, and you hope that you can go out and maybe get Emeka Egbuka at some point in this draft, or you can maybe go out and get another wide receiver in the second round or third round that's going to be able to be a number 2, number 3.
Go sign T. Higgins. Go sign T. Higgins for $27 million. You have 2 wide receivers. I get that. But one of those wide receivers' contracts expire after a year. You're not going to pay a quarterback. Russell Wilson, that's the thing with Russ, okay? So I was talking to people out in Vegas, and that's the thing with Russ, that people like that. It was brought to my attention. It was the first time I ever thought about this. If the Pittsburgh Steelers give Russ a low contract once again, which, like in this hypothetical, the Pittsburgh Steelers don't end the season on the best note, okay? Russ isn't the biggest favorite, whatever. If the Pittsburgh Steelers are bringing back Russ after everything that has happened, they're probably not paying this guy $40 million a year. I mean, there's a chance, obviously, but I mean, at some point, you got to believe that they're smarter than that, okay? So they're not going to pay Russ. Russ is still getting paid $39 million by the Broncos in 2025. So you could pay Russ nothing if he's willing to take another 1-year deal. Or if you're going to sign him, you backload that deal. You give him a 2-year deal or whatever, and you do that. Justin's not going to be $40 million a year. You could afford, that's what I'm trying to say here. You could afford 2 wide receivers for 1 season and then have a T. Higgins contract for the next 2, and you'd be fine with that. You figure out Christian Kirk. Christian Kirk's not going to get paid $24 million in his next contract. He's going to get paid 18, and that's a reasonable number too. So I think you could still go out and make a splash, and then, in that instance, maybe you just have the 5th pick in the second round. You can do whatever you want with that thing. You go in number positions. I think it could work. I think you could figure that out to where it makes some sense. The other name Bleacher Report tossed out is Davante Adams for the 45th time. And I think the funniest part here is that Davante Adams, we talked about it. I was told Davante Adams didn't want to come to Pittsburgh the first time because of the quarterback situation. He didn't know what was going on. And we sat there and said, this is Justin Fields' shot to show Davante Adams, I want to go to Pittsburgh. All right, well, Davante Adams went to the Jets. He made a terrible mistake. We all are aware of that. Nothing changed since the last time he didn't want to come to Pittsburgh. The Steelers still have a quarterback issue. What's up, Fitzgerald? What you doing, dog? You got to get down, buddy. He's just it's been a couple of days in Vegas. He hasn't left my side since. They still have a quarterback situation that they don't know what they're doing, and he wouldn't want to come here. On top of that, let me just read off some numbers here for Davante Adams. $38 million. And then what do you pay him the next year? $38 million. His out is this offseason. Sounds like the Jets are just going to take an $8 million hit and let him go. Am I wrong in saying, could we stop talking about Davante Adams?
For a trade, straight up, yes. Because, you might be able to re-sign Russ cheaper than you expected. You might be able to sign Justin cheaper than you expected, but you still don't want to be paying $38 million to Davante Adams. He's still a very good wide receiver, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, he has over 1,000 yards again this season, despite the fact that he played on the Las Vegas Raiders to start the year, and then he moved over to play... Yeah. And then he moved over to play with Aaron Rodgers and a bad New York Jets team and missed 3 games this season as well. So he's still a good player, but do I really want to get $38 million and whatever you're going to have to pay to get him in that exchange? No. If he comes available because he's cut and you don't have to pay all that money, maybe you look into it, but I don't see a trade coming for the Steelers and Davante Adams. And even if he does become a free agent, I'm not sure Pittsburgh is a destination that is going to be enough for him to want to come here.
No. I look at Davante Adams simply as a guy that's going to go to a team that is destined to win a Super Bowl, and that's where he's going to stop looking. And that is, I mean, I hope that's the Steelers. I hope it is. I don't know where the Super Bowl is next year. I wish I did. Hopefully it's somewhere awesome. It's usually somewhere awesome. Once in a while, they remember the year they threw it to the Jets or something? That was the worst decision they could make. But he's going to a team that he believes in. And at the other side of that, unless he's willing to sign for $15 million, the Steelers aren't taking a flyer on this guy. Hey, football fans, there's only a few short weeks left in the season, and we've got some exciting wildcard games to look forward to. Get in on the action right now with my partners at DraftKings Sportsbook. They're offering all new customers $200 in bonus bets instantly after betting just $5. Don't let this slip away. Download the DraftKings app now and sign up using our code ALLSteelers. The crown is yours. Stay in the action and use your $200 in bonus bets on DraftKings same-game parlays for a shot at an even bigger payout. Combine multiple bets together from the same game. Love the thrill of betting? DraftKings has got you covered. Bet live on in-progress games right as they happen, making watching the game that much more exciting. If sports betting is not yet available in your state, don't worry. You can still join in on all the fun with DraftKings Daily Fantasy and have the shot to win cash prizes. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. New customers use my promo code ALLSteelers and bet just $5 on any wager and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. That's promo code ALLSteelers only at DraftKings Sportsbook.